Welcome back. We talked before about the definition of sovereign independent nations and the fact that Texas is a sovereign independent nation. The Isleta del Sur Pueblo or the Tiguas are a sovereign independent nation, but they fall under the umbrella of the United States of America. That's an important concept, and as we concluded that conversation, we mentioned the term federalism. That's how we all end up working together. The Constitution of the United States of America basically establishes a series of guidelines, and under that Constitution, Congress has established a series of laws that govern certain aspects of our life in the United States. However, they empower states and local government to do much of the same. So, you are, assuming that you're here in Texas, taking a course from El Paso Community College. And I know some of you are deployed overseas or in other parts of the United States. But assuming you're familiar with El Paso and Texas, I can tell you that Texas considers you as much a citizen as the United States does. El Paso considers you as much a citizen as the state of Texas does. El Paso County, the same thing. And all of these entities have established rules that govern aspects of your life. We, through the Constitution of the United States, have what is referred to as the Supremacy Clause. The Constitution says that federal laws supersede or prevail over state and local laws. But the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, also says that if it's not mentioned in the Constitution, that it is a right of the state to govern that aspect of your life. So there's nothing in the Constitution or really federal law that talks about driving a car. They didn't have cars when the Constitution was written. But the state of Texas has laws pertaining to driving a car. And so the most typical government entity that a citizen in the United States will ever interact with is the State Department of Motor Vehicles. And of course there's several branches of that in El Paso County. It also happens to be the most feared or hated branch of government or agency of government in the United States per studies of our citizens. Because you go typically to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and you have to wait and wait and wait. And sometimes if you're a new driver taking a driving test, you fail. And you got to go back. So, government matters to you. It matters to you at all levels. If you are wanting to be employed in the United States, you have to have a Social Security number, which is issued by the government, the federal government in that case. Typically, you're going to have to show a photo ID. That's going to be your driver's license. That's issued by the state government. Let's say you want to work at a restaurant. Well, you can't do that until you have a food handler's permit, which is issued by local government. So government is involved in just about everything you do. That's why government matters. That's why you study government. And that is how federalism works, because the federal government says we don't necessarily want to be involved in teaching people how to handle food. We're going to delegate that to other people. And the state says, well, yeah, we're going to establish some rules, some laws that pertain to food handling so that they're consistent throughout Texas, but we don't necessarily want to get involved with teaching people how to handle food. And so the city-county health unit does things like that. And yes, there's some private schools that will do the same thing for you, but they work closely with the city and the county health unit to make sure that you get that permit that you will absolutely have to get a job. If you want to be a plumber, you have to have a license. That license comes from the state. If you want to be a doctor, you have to have a license. That license comes from the state of Texas. If you want to be an insurance agent, if you want to be a teacher, you have to have a license. and that license comes from the state of Texas or whatever state that you currently reside in. Government matters to you, and government is always working with other government entities to figure out the best way to make sure that these things can be carried out and that there can be guidelines for the safety of its citizens, U.S. citizens, Texas citizens, El Paso citizens. Contact me through Blackboard Messages if you have any questions. Here is another assignment and a bonus assignment. Your assignment is to let me know the address of the city-county health unit. Also, your bonus assignment is to have a selfie taken and sent to me. A selfie with you at any government entity. It can be state, federal, or local. It can be a school. It can be a federal agency like a post office. It can be the sheriff's office. Send that to me and you'll get 50 bonus points. Let me know any questions that you have, and I'll talk to you soon.